Hello viewers, I'm SB, and welcome back to Return of the Obra Dinn, where I have some shocking news for you. Listen, I don't want to shatter anybody's worldview here, but I think it's best I break it to you now, just rip the band-aid off. I'm not the world's greatest investigator. I might not be the world's most observant person. So I was tracking back the memories on our friend here, trying to figure out who he might be, or who his friend Pete might be, and here's what I discovered. This memory, which I thought was maybe depicting this guy getting kind of blasted by this big explosion, this is him pulling a rope that is connected to that corpse. There's a corpse up there who's getting way more blasted by an explosion than this. Remember how I said with this guy, I was like, that's kind of weird. It's like he's not even being killed by the thing. Like maybe he gets killed in a second. But all the memories so far have shown a person actually in the moment of their death. Yeah, that's what's happening. It's this guy. This guy is the guy who's in the moment of his death. So, wait, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to, yep, unknown soul, blasted by an explosion. Okay, here's the thing. This guy's name is Pete. We don't know what his last name is, and there are two people on the ship with the last name of Pete, or with the first name of Pete, if I am not mistaken. Let's go verify that. I believe that is the case, though. I think that's something we already looked at. We got a Peter Milroy, as well as a, hold on a second. Hold on a second, was I wrong? There are two guys with the last name of Peters, did I honestly get confused because I just saw the 5-letter combination Peter too many times? Listen, there are things about my brain that aren't that good. I don't really have a nicer way to put it than that. Okay, well maybe this is the only guy this could be. Peter Milroy, the midshipman. Congratulations, welcome to the solved pile. Hold on. Peter Milroy, the Doom, let's go to the Doom. Nope, that's not it. That's not the correct number. Here we go. This Peter Milroy was blasted by an unknown thing. Yes? Okay, great. Where I was going with that is we had two fates in there that I was pretty sure were right, and so we could just guess which Peter it was, and it would fill in for us. But instead, it turns out I'm an idiot, but I'm the best kind of idiot, because my idiocy has led to us accomplishing a thing. Awesome, right? Okay. We're doing it. What is that? 21? 18? Something like that? More than a quarter, that's for sure. Although at this rate, this is going to be a pretty long series. Listen, stuff's going to start filling in pretty quickly, eventually, right? At some point, we're going to hit that Sudoku effect, where like you have all but 2 numbers in each row and column, and then you get one right, and it's like, oh, that solves the whole puzzle. Check. So, that's where we're headed toward. We're certainly not there yet. I don't have another approach. Let's just start again at the beginning, but now with all this new data. So, chapters 1 and 2 are 100% completed, right? Yep, it's all good. This one's all good. Okay. We still don't know the identity of Huk Seng Lao's assassin, the guy who didn't miss his shot. In their defense, being a member of a fighting squad is usually pretty easy, but I bet it's pretty hard to shoot people when you're on a boat. You know, the boat's listing back and forth. That guy's hanging from a thing, so he's also swinging back and forth, but his swinging is going to be disconnected from the listing of the boat by like a second or two. Wait, who are you? Hold on a second. I don't even remember what this body is. Oh, this is the guy that got stabbed. Never mind. We don't need this. I know all about this. Where's my door? How do I get out of here? Alright, I'm getting distracted by things that I am noticing, quote-unquote noticing, that I had already previously noticed. Okay, the guy who actually killed him, the actual kill shot is... Oh, it's this dude. Right. The guy who appears in every memory and is obviously really important, but who we can't quite figure out. Okay, well... Oh, hey, look, the goat! It's alive. What a beautiful moment this is. Hey you. Do I know who you are? Yes, I just figured you out, right? He's the bosun. I was like, hey, he's touching the wheel. He probably wouldn't be allowed to do that if he wasn't the navigator. But you know what? That's not even that wheel. All right, this was supposed to be an episode that started with me feeling like a genius, and instead it's the other thing. Let's get out of this very depressing memory. Where are we at here? You know, I'm starting to think that some of the sailors on the ship, not great people, not among the best people. Okay, so we are not really on the case here. This guy, his attacker, is tremendously important. This guy's present in so many memories. Was shot with a gun by an unknown officer. Wait, did I really... Wait, what? By an unknown officer? Huh. Hadn't I filled in the captain here? He was definitely shot by the captain, right? No, he was knifed by the captain. Wait a second. What is going on here? Because we had this right. I was definitely clicking around in the book on the way to solving that Pete problem. I may have somehow screwed this up. Boy, I hope I didn't screw up a bunch of other ones. Oh, this guy was clubbed by Captain Literal. Okay, I don't know. Weird. Okay, so hey, this stuff. We assume these people escaped, right? We still don't have any idea who you were. You were somebody on the deck of the ship. I mean, that actually could be literally anyone. Alright, yeah, let's skip that. Especially since we just got a set of 3 fates, so we are not in any position to be making guesses here. Let's actually take a quick look at the list here. How many people do we have pretty filled in? So you got these people are all checked off, they're definitely right. We have used shotgun unknown. Philip Dahl was killed by unknown. Lars Lind was killed by some guy. Wait a minute. Wasn't he killed by Nathan Peters? Come on, take me to your death, Mr. Lars. Perished in The Doom Part 1. Right? Because, yeah. So I filled in the identity of the, It's not Samuel Peters, right? Samuel Peters was the one who got crushed. I know I just looked at the crew listing, but you have to forgive me. You know, that brain thing I was talking about. Yeah, so Lars was killed by Nathan Peters. It's interesting that information did not propagate, despite the fact that we know all of the things in the chain, right? Like I have that guy's picture filled in on the I have that guy's name filled in on the big picture, don't I? He is... Yeah, Nathan Peters. I guess that's fair. His picture was not... Well, no, his picture is attached to the event, though. Yeah, I would have expected that to fill in. Anyway, I'm fairly confident that that one's correct. So, we need to fill in 2 more, though, before we'll get a check here. Wait a minute, show me the 3 memories, including this guy? How do we have just like a completely... How do we have a dude who's definitely dead but completely unknown? Man, did I mess up the book? Oh yeah. Show me the memories this dude is in. So he doesn't die here. He's the captain steward. Oh right, we figured out he's the captain steward because he was being dragged away in that memory. But we actually, yeah, we have no idea what happened to him. Well, this would be a good thing to figure out, right? So let's show me the memories involving him. So, The Calling, Part 6. Unholy Captives, Part 2. This is where he gets dragged away, right? No, this is where he gets dragged away. So then he never appears again? Tie him up and put him in the lazarette with those things. He may yet find his senses. Huh. What did happen to this guy? Alright, let's go pop into this memory over here. So that is cargo hold, one of the ends of the ship. You know which one it is, probably. Yeah, that's weird. I didn't notice that. That guy literally just, like, vanishes from our sight. Which is impressive, given how good our sight is. Plus, this is a memory that has information in it that we haven't totally worked out yet, right? This is what's left of this guy's leg. Keep pressure here. They drag him away. Hey, book! Does the book have in its big glossary, that's the wrong button, the word lazarette? If it doesn't, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go look it up. It does not. You don't think that it's important for me to know what a lazarette is? Maybe it's on one of these, maybe it's in one of these. Containing storage, cabin, animal pens, the ship's tiller. Huh. It's weird that that word is not... Okay, I'm gonna go Google it. Good news is I can just leave the screen up here. So real quick, lazarette, is this like a small compartment below the deck in the aft end of the vessel used for stores. Cool, it's a special area of the boat, Wikipedia would like us to note. It's an unusually special one. So, below the deck in the aft of the vessel. So that is this little compartment that's right next to us then, right? Or sorry, not right next to us, but right next to where I found the leg. So over here, beyond the door. So they put him in the lazarette with those things. Lazarette that we do not have a way of entering. That door is open. And presumably that just leads to the ocean? Like what else? Where else could that possibly go? So man just disappeared. Now I have already... Where... Man. Hold on. We're gonna come in through the sketch here. Yeah, sorry, not that part. I want... Hold on, we gotta find where in the book he actually is. Did he maybe survive? He should be in the book as having disappeared, right? One of the ones that has a disappearances chapter. Unless we are... Maybe I am to take it from this that he did not disappear. Maybe that guy got away. Somehow. It seems somewhat unlikely. Well, we know somebody escaped, right? Somebody survived. We were sent back here, and the person who wrote that note certainly seemed to know what they were talking about. Yeah, that guy just made it. Huh. Hey, what was the name on the note that we received at the beginning of the book? Henry Evans. Is that name on my list? Henry Evans, the surgeon, got away. So maybe I'm wrong and that dude's Henry Evans, but he can't be. Huh. Weird, man. How would it be the case that Philip Dahl could have survived if he's dragged out to the... Hold on. Let me get back to this memory. I think this memory actually has some pretty important stuff going on in it.
heavy pressure here.
Hold him down. What madness is this? 20 years my steward, and never a doubt on your sanity. Explain yourself.
Those ungodly beasts carry a curse! Throw them back, or doom us all!
Tie him up and put him in the lazarette with those things. He may yet find his senses.
Come on.
All's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think. Where's the rest of his leg?
I think this guy, the guy being operated on here, could well be the John. This guy here could well be Henry Evans. Right? That makes a certain amount of sense. I don't have any idea who you are. You are this guy being dragged away. So yeah, you're definitely the steward. Okay, this guy. He appears in another memory, right? This is the guy who takes care of the guy we started the episode with when he gets stabbed, I believe. Trying to get our injured fellow here. This zooming is a little bit finicky when there's a lot of dudes close together. Alright, what if your name is John? You could be John Davies. Here's my... Hold on, we're gonna make a supposition here. This time, there were definitely two Johns, right? I'm gonna guess that this is John Naples. And there's really only one thing driving this. This guy does not have a hat on in the picture, and the fourth mate's still pretty important, right? Anybody who's a mate is, like, fairly important. Sorry, they're like the first mate, third, you know. So there are people with hats in this picture, right? Captain's got a big hat. That guy's a first mate. That guy's a second mate. That guy's a gunner. I suppose if this dude... We have this dude and this dude. I'm expecting one of these guys to be the third mate and one of them to be the fourth mate, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is not solid. Well, I'm going to leave the... Oh, no, wait. Hold on. We get two more guys with those kinds of hats on. One of these dudes is the third mate and one of them is fourth mate. I am making a supposition at this moment. I do not feel comfortable guessing which is which, but I'm gonna leave this on John Naples. And as we keep progressing here, we will find out if I am right or not. We're gonna have to do some guesswork here, some process of elimination stuff. So, what's next? This guy's just a seaman, that guy's just a seaman, so it is probably the case that both of these two dudes are as well. But I bet there are way too many seamen on the list for us to start filling in names from that, right? Yeah, look at how many. It could be, theoretically, any of the dudes who don't have stuff filled in yet, so that's not useful yet. Hey, actually, there's another couple pieces of information in here, though. Like I said, I think this memory has a lot of important stuff in it. If I were to suppose that you, sir, were the surgeon. Or wait, maybe you're the surgeon. Hold on. Hold on, I want to take this back. Let's say you are an unknown soul. I need to go back to that other memory to try to guess who's the surgeon. Let's do that right now. Let's, Right, the door's that way, but I gotta go through here. Because it seemed to me that that guy had gotten to the medical assistance, right? After he was stabbed for discovering the attempted mutiny. Man, this ship is just all kinds of unpleasant. Where is that memory? Oh, wait, it's up one more deck, right? Because it's where the stairwell comes down off of the ship. Yeah, and that dude was covered in blood. Here. this one.
Oh no! You're cut!
Nope, that's not the... That's certainly not the surgeon. Brennan, bring the surgeon's kit. Brennan is... Who is Brennan? Actually, this is not a good way to do this, because it excludes a bunch of names. We need to look at the actual crew list. Also, man, all of the buttons that I expect to take me places in the book, just close the book. Okay, here we go. Brennan. Brennan is certainly a name uncommon enough to be unique. Henry Brennan. Okay, so that's not helpful. He's just calling out to someone. Well, hold on, but he might be calling out to someone that he knows at this moment to be nearby?
I tried my best
Aye,
to pull him back to save him.
you tell him yourself. Brennan, bring the surgeon's kit!
Huh. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna help us. This is the captain's quarters that we're in right now, right? No, it can't be. This is a midshipman's quarters. Well, shoot, this doesn't help us at all, then. Yeah, okay, this memory is useless to me, especially as far as figuring out who may or may not be a surgeon. Well, that's a shame. Hey, how many memories do we have mostly filled in? I'm wondering if we could maybe use a little bit of guess and check on that memory down there. Because you know what? We actually may be only a single memory off of another set of 3. Now that I filled in some information that we knew but that had not been filled in automatically. So actually, if we can guess, if we try guessing that the other guy in that memory is the surgeon, that could solve for us, depending on whether we know his precise cause of death or not.
Keep pressure here.
Right, what if you were the surgeon? Would that tell me stuff? You met an unknown fate. Disappeared in the escape chapter. He's one of these. Okay, these people got away, I think. That's a thing we have, right? Escaped? No, maybe not. Poison shot boy. These are all very grim. Froze? Do we have anybody froze? Oh, if we were going to guess that somebody was alive, we'd have to guess where they are. Ugh. Because a number of those people definitely got away, right? The people on that one ship. Do I have any idea who you are? You were spiked. You're wearing... Huh. You're wearing an apron. Does that mean anything? No, probably not.
Those are ghastly beasts carrying a curse! Throw them back, or doom us all!
Tie him up and put him in the lazaret with those things. Keep yet minds.
Yeah, this is remarkably unhelpful. Alright, let's maybe try to find a new angle.
Spots, I think.
I think we may have exhausted this one. Because, yeah, guessing that that guy's the doctor still wouldn't actually fill anything in. I'm going to go ahead and tag him, because he's got the bag there and everything. But, he also could just as easily be the surgeon's mate, right? I'm going to say Henry Evans, the surgeon, is alive, and he's in Europe, right? We know that. We know that Henry Evans is alive in Europe. I don't know that this is Henry Evans necessarily. But if that guy's Henry Evans, he's alive in Europe, because he's sending us places. Hold on. Use the pocket watch to determine the identity and fate of everyone aboard, complete each chapter accurately, and return the book by guaranteed post to the French Office of Affairs in Morocco. He wants the book, though, right? So we're sending it to him in Morocco, then. He's not in Europe after all. I don't know. This might not get me anything, but what if I say he's alive and he is in Africa? Right? Now my bad grasp of geography is getting it. Morocco's in Africa, isn't it? Yeah. Yep, definitely going to Wikipedia real quick. Hey, listen, better I know what I don't know. Yes, Morocco is totally in Africa. All right. I was like 90% sure. I just don't want to be the idiot who's acting like he's 100% sure when he's definitely wrong. Okay, so that's not really that helpful. That guy might be Henry Evans, and if he is Henry Evans, he is alive, and if he is alive, he might be alive in Africa, because again, he may or may not be having us send that book to him. He might be sending that to a convenient office of the company for whatever reason. So who knows? I'm guessing that he's in Morocco. But none of that is actually helpful. Let's get to something here. Okay, here's a question I have. The people who got away in the escape chapter. Let's talk about them. Let's actually go to the end and then page back here. So the last corpse in Escape is actually that one. So I really should have just hit that again. But there's corpses up here. Hold on. This corpse is from the Escape. Let's see if we can maybe deduce a little something here.
Last one. Move quick.
Okay, that guy being on the boat makes me more confident that he is Henry Evans. Don't think I have any idea who you are. I don't know who the two women are, but the fact that they're women is certainly going to be helpful, because there really are not very many women on the ship. Can't, for some reason, get that woman lit up here. Let's have a quick look at the crew thing. How many women were actually aboard? We, of course, have Abigail. You think the guy with the apron is Emil O'Farrell? Maybe. We'll come back to it. He is the only butcher listed, and we already have the cook filled in. Hold on, we'll get back to it. What I was doing was looking for women. So Abigail, of course, we have handled. There's Emily Jackson and Miss Jane Bird. We had Lim, but she is accounted for as well. And is that it? It is. So one of these women is Miss Jane Byrne, and the other one is Emily Jackson, and they both survived, right? They both got away. So where's the ship at when this is happening? At this moment, we are here. So some people planned to get off the ship and make it to the Canary Islands. I don't know exactly what the scale we're dealing with here is, but it looks to me like, given the distance, like this is the English Channel, right? Given the distances that we're seeing here, making it from this location, or rather, wait, where's the escape? The escape, yeah, the Big X, dummy. Make it from this location to Africa in one of those rowboats seems unlikely. However, like, where did they go? Where did they go? What are my options? She's alive. She could have made for the Canaries. Oh, hey, Europe and the United Kingdom are, like, the United Kingdom is separated out from Europe. If she made it away, the Canary Islands aren't that far away from the location? Sorry, that's not what I want. I want this. Madeira is not on the list, but that's probably it's probably considered part of Africa. I guess the Canary Islands aren't. Yeah, this is tricky. I don't know what to fill in for these people who escaped on the ship. You're alive and potentially here? Or, I mean, here's the other thing. When you fill it in, it doesn't say escaped to. It says is currently alive on. It's been 5 years since the ship left port, right? Obviously, not all of the events took 5 years to unfold. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea where. But presumably, the fact that we can fill this in means that I could know. So there's a whole something that we are missing. Maybe they all escaped together? Like, what would be the... It would be hard for me to know if they would go somewhere together, given that I don't know, like, who they are, right? I don't know why they're on the ship in the first place. Jackson and Bird. Just looking for last names. Like maybe there's somebody's family. We could assume from their nationality that they would go home. They're both English. I'm gonna try that. Let's fill in. I'm gonna take some stabs here. So let's say you are alive and you are in the United Kingdom somewhere. And your name is Emily Jackson. And you are alive in the United Kingdom. And your name is Miss Jane Bird. Oh, that didn't work. Your name is Emily Jackson. And your name is Miss Jane Bird. No. Okay, well, that was a try. That was worth a shot. Here's the thing. This woman looks younger to me. So maybe she's Miss? I don't know what the... there's probably an appropriate... there's a set of actual rules for when you use Miss in a woman's name. And I don't know that because I have no knowledge of etiquette whatsoever. But I'm going to switch these back for that reason, as thin as it is. When I hear Miss, I think of a younger woman. So clearly these are not right, because we would have had a fill-in from here, right? But we know that those are the two names, unless all of the other stuff I have filled in right now is wrong, which is actually no, is not possible. Lars is right. I feel very confident Lars is right, and John Naples, having been torn apart by a terrible beast, also is probably right. So my guess is that what I have wrong here is the location, because we tried the names in both orientations with the United Kingdom, which means that actually, if I feel real confident that those other ones are right, I'm just gonna hey now. Maybe they did all go to Africa together, and then they just stayed there for that whole time for some reason. Oh, interesting. So, let's switch the other woman. I guess we don't know for sure that the other woman also is in Africa, but it's not totally unreasonable guess, and it'll be just a piece of information that can sit here and maybe get confirmed later. And you, I'm guessing you are also alive in Africa? But I have no idea who you are. You made it off the ship. Boy, he could be the surgeon's mate or something. I don't know. He could be the surgeon's mate because the surgeon brought him on the ship, but he also could just be whoever was nearby, right? So, we're making progress. Actually, I need to look at the list one more time. So what we know for sure is that anybody whose full information is filled in right now is wrong. John Naples was not torn apart by a beast. Because if he was, he would have been confirmed prior to us pulling one of those. So hold on. Let's go fix that. John Naples, torn apart, beast. Show me that. Unholy Captives, part 4. Is that on the deck map? Right here? Nope. There. Okay, so he's not counting as torn apart by beast. I'm telling you, that memory has a lot of juicy stuff in it. I guess actually there's no point in trying to fix him because right now, even if everything else we know is right, he would be the second in a new set of 3. So even if we did figure out what was going on, he wouldn't be confirmed. So why don't we worry about something else right now? Let's try to find somewhere else to go with this. So I know your name and everything, but I don't know who killed you, right? Right. What's your deal, fella? You were shot with a gun in Escape Part 3. The memory for which is probably right up here on the deck. So let's step out and see if we can't put together the identity of his killer or something. Try to follow this chain of information. We're getting somewhere. It was real nice of them to go to Africa and then just stay there for 5 years so that I could fill that information in the book. I don't know what I would have done if they decided to, like, leave.
Let them go!
Oh, hey, actually, that's great. We totally know who that is. So you, in fact, were shot by Emily, right? Yeah, you were shot by Emily Jackson, and frankly, it seems like you really deserved it. Well done, Emily. I wonder if we can make some kind of guess based on the photo? He's playing cards with a certain group of people. Yeah, take me to the picture. Hold on. Let's have a look at the sketch here. This guy is playing cards with Samuel Peters and some guy and okay. So all we know about Samuel Peters and Nathan Peters. Oh hey, buddy up on the thing, right? That makes sense. All we know about these fellas is that they are just general workers on the ship. So it actually probably doesn't help me that much. These are just 2 other seamen, potentially. And these guys are English, right? And that, unfortunately, is the most common nationality on the ship. Yeah, so... that doesn't really help us fill anything in. I was hoping that, like, you know, there are 3 guys from Russia, right? So maybe if there were 3... if the Russian dudes were all playing cards together or something, we could figure that out, but... you don't really know anything about these Russian guys. Alright, there's a lot of places where we don't really know anything. Gotta find someplace where we know something. You were decapitated by a beast while dancing with Miss Emily sorry, not while, but also you danced with Emily Jackson. Does that tell me anything? We already verified that there isn't another Jackson on the ship. This guy's not her husband or anything. He's kinda wearing an apron. We fill this guy in as the butcher. Maybe we'll get confirmation on that in a little bit. Although I guess now that we're trying to mark that guy as the butcher, it becomes more worthwhile to figure out what actually happened to the dude whose leg is off. Because if we can correct him, it's possible that that would fill in now. If we are right about that guy being the butcher. We're definitely having to make moves on some thinner information than I would like here. But, I mean, we're just past the point where we know stuff. Past the point where we can be certain of stuff, I guess is maybe a better way to put that.
Keep pressure here.
Hold him down.
So I mean, like, I know your sword is... There's a sword here. Maybe this guy was killed by sword?
Your sanity. Explain yourself.
Those are ghastly beasts carrying a curse!
Right, because in this thing... What madness is this? 20 years my steward, never doubt on your sanity. So, like... The reason he's saying never doubt on your sanity, explain yourself. Like, what the hell? What's going on here? What are you doing? Maybe what we're supposed to get from this is that John Naples was, in fact, sorted real hard by this first mate fella? Sorry, by this captain's mate fella? Hey, now. But, like, why does Philip Dahl freak out and attack him with a sword? Was he maybe... I wonder if perhaps he was responsible for the decision to bring them on board? That's the only thing that really makes sense to me. Is why Philip deciding that there was a... deciding that the fact that the things are cursed means he ought to attack this guy with a sword. Bargain. Hey, look at that. In the bargain chapter, there's an In the Lazarette section. That guy did escape, didn't he? That's really interesting. Huh. Yeah, man, I want to know exactly what happened here now. It is occurring to me that there's something really important missing about the motivations of our employer. So hold on, let's go back to the crew list. Once again, now that we've just hit a set... Is there anybody who's totally filled in that is wrong? No, everybody that we've made definitive answers on, we've gotten right now. So now we're back to figuring. But hey, look at that. There's a lot of stuff filled in. This game is super fun. This is really cool. Okay, the two guys from India who fell to illness. Could we get more information about the other Indian dudes from them? Maybe. Hold on, let's go back to their memories. Because right, in some of these memories, there are people, people grouped around. So this body is on the Orlop deck near those stairs. Okay.
Fall back, your doom is all!
Oh, I gotta get out of this memory first.
Tie him up and put him in the lazarette with those things.
So I guess once the mermaids were killed the second time, they must have stayed dead. Otherwise, Philip Dahl would also be dead. Okay, so if we assume that these are the two other Indian guys, not entirely unreasonable, I think. Because right in this memory they are... Sorry, that's not what I want. In this memory they are speaking to each other, right? Hey, that's Cyrillic. Because the Russian guys are hanging out and playing cards together. Right? Are you... You're one of the gunners. I don't have your name yet. You really love playing cards. We just saw this dude. And you also love playing cards. You know, if we make the assumption that these three are the Russians, and we just, like, cycle through all the combinations of their names, we have all three of their causes of death, right? Yeah, it will fill them in if I get them all right. Okay, let's try it. Again, guess and check is not, like, the smoothest method of all time, but the game does allow for it, so I'm going to take advantage. Nope, that's you. This guy's the other one. You are... that guy? Nope, that didn't work. How about this guy? We do have to get all three of them for this to work, because we have no other fill-ins right now. No? Okay. Then what if you were Leonid, huh? What if that? So that means I had your name wrong. This guy has some... Listen, maybe this is culturally insensitive, but this guy has some facial hair that looks kind of Russian to me. Okay. So clearly not. What if you were, this guy? Right? Right? I guess I'm assuming a lot here, too. I'm assuming that all the causes of death I have filled in for them and everything are right. But maybe that's a safe assumption. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. When I came into this memory, my plan was not, let's figure out who the Russians are, but... we're getting there. Okay, deduction in threes. So that didn't actually help me at all with this situation. But like these are the four Indian dudes sitting together. I'm just figuring that people who are from the same place probably got onto the ship together, right? These people weren't all picked up in... maybe they were all picked up in England. But my rationale for like, hey, let's group the nationalities was that they probably got onto the ship together, and so they were people who knew each other before getting on the ship, so they would keep hanging out together. Maybe that's not a safe assumption. Because the ship did just leave from England, but we don't know that it was empty before it started picking people up in England. So in order to start making guesses about the identities of these two, and we totally can, because we have causes of death for them, we need to get one other person that we're reasonably sure is right filled in. So... who else do I feel like we're close on? We still don't have that guy. Philip Dahl, I think he may have survived, but I don't know where he would have gone. Paul Moss was killed by a sword. Killed with a sword by an unknown attacker. Hold on, can we see that in Escape Part 2? Oh yeah, because we have his attacker's name now. I've already forgotten which one of them it was, but I think we have his attacker's name now, right? So hold on, let's go back up to the top deck, fill in that, and then guess at which of the fellows from India is which, and hopefully that'll just fill right in. I think we must be close to halfway done by now. Actually, I think we are exactly halfway done, aren't we? Because the positions of the lines on that last page. Yep, so this fella, we do in fact have his name now. He is Leonid Volkov. Sorry, just give me the page for this thing. He was in fact killed with a sword by Leonid Volkov. Which means we can just make this guess from here. In a bitter cold... oh, no, wait, sorry, not in a bitter cold, but rather from the crew thing is where we want to make the guesses. You are... this guy, and you are the other guy from India. Alright, well, I'll tell you what, I'm feeling a lot better than I was at the beginning of the episode, or rather about 5 minutes into the episode. Yeah, so we were halfway done before this last set. Hey, that's pretty good, man. We've had to make some deductive leaps that were not necessarily entirely sound, things that we could not have proven were we not magic. But the good news is, we're very magic. Okay, so now what? I don't know if I have any kind of idea where to continue from here. Let's step out of the memory here and then go back to the book and see what we can put together. So you know what? At this point, we actually probably have filled in a lot of the lower level crew, haven't we? Pretty quickly. Yeah, look at that. So if we are assuming that the shooters in the execution were all just random, still haven't narrowed it down enough to start making guesses about that, I guess. Okay. What else jumps out at me? Oh, hey, look at that. There's actually another guy from India on the ship. So these guesses were not actually all that safe. It worked out. Again, I'm magic, so we know. But, I guess, though, the ship's steward is definitely not going to be a guy who is, well, I shouldn't say he's definitely not a guy who's going to be familiar with these dudes, because, again, I'm still operating under this assumption that I got that these guys boarded the ship together. Just, you know, looking for work. Mostly looking for passage and paying it off with work, is my guess. Okay, there's 4 guys from China. That's certainly interesting. There's a guy from Persia. So we can make some guesses maybe about that. Can we, from the image here, this guy is one of the guys from China, and that guy's one of the guys from China, right? We know that because we've heard them speak, I think. Hey, you're touching the wheel. Might you be the navigator? We don't actually know what happened to you. You disappeared during the doom. Okay, let's have a look at that. Let's have a look through the doom memories. We haven't been in the doom in a little while. One assumes that people who disappeared... This guy is a way in, right? One assumes that people who disappeared during the doom were pulled off the ship by the beast, right?
Let me on. Over my dead body, you bloody day.
Right, so we know this whole deal now. We have all of the stuff on both of these guys. Yeah, okay. All the way filled in. So that's actually not that helpful.
You killed my brother.
You are somebody I don't have anything on.
Accident.
Hold on, though. He's standing next to the surgeon, and he's got that same, like... I don't know what you call this particular neck adornment. It's an ascot tied in a particular way or something. But, like, he could be the surgeon's mate, right? These two hanging out together, and he was, like... He was drowned by a terrible beast. Possibly. He very well could have been drowned by a terrible beast. You, oh no, you have the same neck thing. That makes my guess about their similar neck things a lot weaker. I don't know anything about you. Let's see, you're playing dice with some guys that, yeah, unfortunately we don't know anything about. Alright, we're getting there. We'll get there. Let's step out of this and... We'll step out of this, and then we will find another body who is from the Doom. Let's see. You! Yep. Guy who was torn in half. You're from the Doom. Let's have a look in your memory. Okay. There's a lot of stuff happening. Hey, look at that! I can't zoom in and get identities on those guys, but that sure looks like some people who were thrown overboard, drowned by a terrible beast. 3 people. So, yeah, okay. Yep, Nathan Peters and I am very confident that you were drowned by a terrible beast. And then this guy, yeah. Okay, so we don't know what happened to any of these guys. One assumes they were also thrown off the ship. Anybody who disappeared during this chapter was thrown off the ship, right? Like, there's really no other way it could have gone down. This guy's still on the ship right now. And this is part 7 of this. Okay, let me get off the boat and go look and find part 8. Okay, that's when Abigail was crushed by the rigging. Let's go and check Abigail's body. We haven't been in that memory in an extremely long time. Okay, well here's this guy. Torn apart by a beast, fair enough. Yeah, that's it getting his arm. Here is that guy. He's spearing the thing. So we don't actually have... Yeah, I don't actually know what happened to him. He's just gone by the beginning of the next chapter. But it's reasonable, I think, to assume that he was drowned by the beast. That he was stuck in the thing and... That's weird, though. It's weird that he disappeared, but that he does not appear to be in any, like, exactly imminent danger at the moment we last see him. Do we know what eventually happened to you? Ah, yes, you eventually tried to mutiny and paid the price. And we know what happened to you. Who are you? You're Paul Moss, of course. You were shot with a gun by someone at some point. Ah, yeah, during the mutiny thing. Right. Alright, I'm gonna be honest with you, this was less satisfying than I was looking for. Alright, why don't we... I'm just gonna, for now, put down everybody who went missing here was drowned by an unknown beast, or a terrible beast, and we can change this stuff later if it looks like I'm wrong, but I can't see how else someone would disappear during this part of the story. Okay, so... we still don't actually know you. Do we know who shot him? At this point, I am definitely like... There's that guy again. At this point, I'm definitely like just clawing desperately at any unknown threads. I'm very disappointed with how this octopus thing worked out. Sorry, squid. They say squid. I don't know that I necessarily believe them, but I suppose they would know better than I guess. Alright, hold on. Let's get down here. Check out the guy who's missing the whole front half of his head again. The guy who killed you was... somebody. He's a third or fourth mate, certainly. Well, possibly. We still don't actually know who knifed him. Nor do we know his name. We know that he was alive when he was crouched against the wall here. So hold on. One of these guys probably knifed him, right? So this guy says, Captain cannot be trusted. This guy's mutinying. There's a stabbing. So I think this guy stabbed our friend here. Unfortunately, that doesn't give me a lot to go on since this is one of the guys whose names we don't know, right? Yeah. Not that helpful. So he was in that room listening when the Austrian guy died, right? If we step back to that memory, does it give us any clue as to his identity? Wait, where's the door for this one would be down here, right? Yeah, here it is. Maybe we could get a clue to his identity if we step back into that memory, because they do converse a little bit, right? I appreciate that some of this is starting to stick in my head. The squid's gone, your mate was torn apart.
Put me down. Let go. Easy now. You're in a bad way. It's the squid. Where is my Frenchman?
The squid's gone. Your mate was torn apart.
That.
Yeah, unfortunate. Those are just like British voices. I hate it when people on the ship turn out to be British because it makes it really hard to narrow down their identities. So, presumably, that guy could be... probably not the helmsman. I think we should fill in the identity of the helmsman. He's touching the wheel. He's got to be the helmsman. They don't let other people touch the wheel, right? Isn't that a rule? I think that might be a rule. That was not really relevant to what we were doing here. So these two guys are British, and I was looking at the crew list to figure out which English guys they might be. We actually do have a lot of the English guys filled in, and they're probably not the third and fourth mate because their hats aren't nice enough. So we have 2 stewards. They could be those guys. Topman and 2 seamen left. Yeah, still too many to really guess. Don't think either of them had Scottish accents. I can usually... listen, my ear for voices is not awesome, but I can usually pick out Scottish.
With the storm. Captain came up from the hold. Said he chased it off.
Alright, well, I'm feeling a little bit stymied, but I think we actually made really good progress this episode after a small initial bit of feeling stymied. This might be a good place to stop for now. So that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you are all still as into this as I am. But even if you're not, I'm going to finish it. So there. Come back next time for, hopefully, more of this. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to pick up the recording again until I have an insight. So come back next time for some insight. And we'll see you then.